Good evening, everybody. How is everybody doing this Friday evening? As you can probably see from the disaster behind me, it's been a busy day. It's been a busy week, for sure. All right, I'm just getting this all set up. All right, so tonight I'm going to do a mixed media flag. This is something out of my comfort zone. It's not something that I've ever done before. I don't even know if I've ever painted a flag before. But how's everybody doing tonight? My name is Michaela. I am from Paint Fixation in Middleburg, Florida. I have a booth at Antiques for You on Blanding Boulevard, and I'm going to be opening my second booth at Junk in the Trunk in Floating Island next week. So, hey, Yvonne, she made it. Okay, so let me pull you up on here so I can read comments. Oops, and turn off my notifications. And turn off my sound on this thing in case it does some beeping. I don't normally work on my floor like this, but I am today because the rest of the room is a mess. I'm trying to get stuff together to take up to the booth at Junk in the Trunk. And it's been... The rest of the room is a mess. Betty Jo, hello. Deb, hi. Welcome, everybody. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so this is not, of course, going to be an exact replica of a flag because obviously it's not the right size. I don't have the right size stars. But I thought it would be kind of cool to use some of the Dixie Belle products and kind of mix them all in and try and get it to look like something that represents a flag. You know, my aunt keeps telling me, you talk with your hands too much. And I notice it now that I do this. So if that bothers you, I'm really sorry. I should take lessons in public speaking. Hi, Sherry. Hi, Tracy. Okay. So I've got an idea. I'm going to use this cardboard as a backdrop to the stars. I thought that might be kind of cool. And then I'm going to use sea spray on my red stripes and mud on my white stripes. And then I'm going to use pine cone and gravel road for the frame. I'm pretty sure that's all going to look good. And if it doesn't, we can just paint over again. So this is what it looks like now. Typical outdated piece of canvas. So I'm going to try and make it resemble something worth having. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to paint the frame real quick. I'm going to do pine cone first, and then I'm going to do gravel road and then sand back to the pine cone. I think that'll look really cool. When you drop in, I see some of y'all have already told me that you're here. If you haven't said anything, say hi. I'm going to use my mini angle, one of my favorite brushes. This has already been cleaned, and I sanded it back just a little bit. This is a wood frame, so it's not going to need any slick stick. And I'm just going to put a quick coat of this on here. What has everybody been doing this week? Has anybody been painting? And if you have, what are you painting? What kind of projects you got going on? I have been painting like a mad woman, crafting, you name it, I've been doing it. I had such a hard time deciding what to do tonight. I was going to do this table that I have right here. It's like a little side table. And I've had it with that table. It's going in the garbage. It's not real wood, and it's causing me more angst than it is pleasure. So I'm done playing with it. I've already painted it a few times for fun, for some lives in the past. And it just has those paper-like sides on it, and I'm over it. Have y'all ever felt that way? Hi, Deb. Oh, no, you had to order more. What colors are you using on your end tables? I just finished my end tables today. I posted some pictures, the ones that I have with the with the transfers on top. I just finished those today. I ended up with a flat finish on them. I changed my mind again. And I think this is going to look nice with the pine cone with the gravel road over the top, because gravel road it's pretty brown. It's a gray, but it's got a lot of brown in it. So I think that this is going to be a nice combination. Evie, hi. A jewelry box. I'm more like looking at it. That's funny. Oh, girl, I feel you. I have been sitting on my floor now for about an hour, staring at this canvas, trying to decide what I was going to do with it. I have all these little, ooh, aubergine, I love that color. My favorite color, one of my favorites. New Zealand. That's funny. Your daughter has mud, and I don't know if that's the same mud. That's funny. You guys are cracking me up. I love to laugh. I think that it's the best medicine. And we sure can use it, can't we? I'm not being real careful on the canvas here because I am going to go over that. Hi, Jackie. We're just having fun tonight. I'm not doing any crazy furniture techniques or anything. I'm just going to update this canvas. Yvonne, did you get an order today or is it coming today? You had 2 orders out. I know. I got a notification that somebody's got delivered today, but I didn't look at the email to see whose it was. Maybe it might have been somebody else's. Actually, I think it might have been Jackie's friend. Hi, Cindy. My neighbor's on. Cindy, we're just having fun tonight. I'm going to update this canvas, try to do a flag. Never painted a flag before. Okay, good. Let me know if it doesn't make it. Everybody's been having trouble with FedEx, Yvonne, so hang tight, girl. They'll get there. But I thought a flag would be fun to show some of the different media. I was going to do all these gears. I have all these gears from Would You Bend. Have y'all seen the Would You Bend products? All these little pieces like this. I'm not, they have come in all different sizes. They're really cute. I love Would You Bend, but I've never been big on the industrial stuff, or at least I'm not talented in that way. But I'm going to challenge myself. And I was going to use that piece, but it's just not a good enough quality piece to do it on there. And so I'll let y'all know when I do the Would You Bend. I think that'll be a fun one because it's going to be way outside my comfort zone. But I'm trying to work a little bit more outside my comfort zone. You know, you got to. So let's just, this is pine cone for anybody that's just jumping on. We're just doing a base coat of the pine cone. My nose is itching. And just doing a light coat to start. And then we're going to go over it with gravel road after it dries. But in the meantime, we'll paint. I'm going to paint this in fluff to get a white base coat. And then we're going to get going from there. I think I need a little bit more. So who's watching that's never used Dixie Belle paint? Who has never used Dixie Belle paint? I want to know. This has got a date on it. This was painted in 1967. It looks like it, doesn't it? But it's hand painted. It's a really nice frame, and you can tell it's quality back in the day. But we're just gonna update it a little bit. Ooh, and have the old goober right there. Paint goober. Yvonne, you've not used the paint? No way. I must be misunderstanding. Okay. I'm just going to hit this a little bit more. I can still see a little bit of the green coming through. It doesn't have to be perfect because we are going to cover this with the gravel road. Over here. I can feel paint getting all over my arm. Okay. All right, so that's our pine cone. That's all finished, and that while that's drying, I'll put this in my water. And while that's drying, I'm going to paint this with fluff. Don't freak out, but I'm just going to squirt it right on here. Oh, Betty Jo, you need to get some. Waiting on in the Navy, change on the colors. Well, I know that. I think I was going to squirt this right on here, but I'm going to just put it in this container. And guys, excuse my mess. This is not, I try and clean up every day, but I haven't done that today. Okay, here's my flat. This is a mini. This is the mini without the angle, mini straight one. My husband's on. Hello. Okay, let's see how good this is going to cover this. Oh, that's going to be nice. Okay, look how good this is covering this, guys. It might, once it dries, the colors might peek through a little bit, but I'm just doing this as a back. I'm going to be using my Dixie Belle Mud, the white, to make stripes. And I wanted to just have a solid background when I did that, so I think it'll make it easier. Betty Jo, you need to get some paint. You won't regret it. And if you don't have a local retailer, I'm happy to ship to you. But if you have a local retailer, we try to use those first. And if you don't know how to find them, you just go on the Dixie Belle Paint Company website, and you there's a little link that you click that says find a retailer, and put your zip code in there, and it will tell you if there is a retailer near you. And if there's not, you can go on my website, paintfixation.com, and order paint, and it can be delivered directly to your door. Okay, this is covering pretty good. I cleaned the canvas before I came on here. I just wiped it down. It's been in my garage for months. Uh-oh, not your paint. Did you get a notification, Yvonne, that it was coming today? For your first order that you ordered, or your second order? And Facebook just knocked me off of my own page. Isn't that nice? Don't understand why it does that. Does anybody else have that problem with FedEx knocking you off? Thank you for the hearts. Oh, thanks, Betty. I'm glad that you finally spoke up, because I know there are people that come on and they don't say where they're from or who they are. And I like to, this looks like this, look at that. Can y'all see that red right there? Now this is from 1967 and the red is running. That's crazy. Huh. We're going to cover it up anywhere, so it's not going to show. But that's kind of interesting. I'm not familiar with the paint they used in 1967, but it's very strange that this is, look at that. Can y'all see that? Isn't that crazy? That's pretty shocking. So that's a little lesson that if you're going to paint over canvas and you want it to be light colored and you don't want bleed through, you might want to put some Boss on there. Boss is our stain blocker. panning blocker. So if I was going to leave this in just the white paint, I would have to go back over this with some. And this is a situation where I would not have thought I would have needed anything like that. Because Boss is misunderstood. Boss and Slick Stick seem to be the two products that we carry that have the most confusion. That's funny. I'm reading the comments and Yvonne is cracking me up. Yeah, so Slick Stick and Boss are probably the two most confused products that we carry. People get them, so Slick Stick you use on slick surfaces like glass. If y'all watched my live from yesterday, I did a glass top table. And I did use Slick Stick because it is a glass top and it'll probably get some wear. And I wanted it to have a very solid foundation for the paint. Laminate surfaces, plastic. Some of the some furniture has like plastic fronts, plastic pieces and molds. Those types of fronts you would want to use Slick Stick. Boss, on the other hand, is for odors and stains like tannins in your wood. And so you want to do Boss before you paint if you think that your furniture is going to bleed, or if you thank you, Yvonne, if you have a piece that smells bad, like the drawers or even the outside, if you get your piece from a smoker, sometimes even the outside of the piece will stink. In that case, you will want to use Boss as well, and that'll help curb that smell. I love this brush. It's cutting in here just beautifully without any tape. I'm not much on taping. Even when I paint walls in the house, I don't tape. Thank you, Yvonne. That's so sweet. Okay. All right. We've got that on. I can't believe that's coming through there. It cracks me up. Okay. Now we're going to, while that dries, I'm going to go back and put my gravel road, but I'm going to hit this with a hairdryer because it looks like it's, where are my lids? 1 second. So I'm going to put a lid on this in case I need some in a little bit. I don't want this to dry out. I get these little containers for $1 at the Dollar Tree. They come with like 4 or 5 in them. They are perfect for this. And also these right here. Get those at the dollar store too. In fact, I'm just going to squirt my gravel road right in here with the pine cone. But first, I'm just going to hit this with a hairdryer. See a little bit of paint that's still wet. So just for a moment, this is going to be kind of loud. 1 minute. So now I've got my gravel road. This is a gray it's a brownish gray. I love this color. I don't know what it is about this color. To me, it's just a very rich looking color. It's a very warm color. But it's like a dark gray with a brown base. And I'm going to use my flat medium for this. And they're wet because I used them earlier. And if you can see my clothes, this is how I paint. I just put it on my clothes. But I wash them every night, guys. I know I wear the same thing in my lives all the time, but they're clean, I promise. Hey, Brittany. My God, baby is on. Okay, so I am going to put a pretty heavy coat. I'm just going to cover it like I would paint. Just regular. I'm not doing a dry brush. And then I'm going to just sand it back a little bit once it's dry. So my main color will be the gravel road with a little hint of the pine cones peeking through after I sand it back. I just think this color will look good with the flag colors, in my opinion. Oops. I'm not so worried about getting it on the canvas either, because like I said, we are going to be painting all that again. But you need to get your mom up here for a paint class. So who watching has taken a workshop or a paint class? And if you did, if you had taken more than one, what was your favorite one you did and what did you make? I am hoping to do workshops at Junk in the Trunk and Fleming Island, you know, as soon as we're allowed to. I'm not sure what the situation is going to be, but hey, that's my god baby. That she has her own baby, and she is beautiful. Looks exactly like her, I swear. And we can't get her mom to come up here and paint with me. She's a homebody. She's worse than me. I'm a homebody, but her mom's worse than I am. Okay. Turn this way. So no one's taken a class. I don't see anybody answering me. Has anybody taken any kind of class, like a make and take class, painting with a twist class, pottery class? I'm getting paint on the floor. Hope my husband's not watching. It comes right off, honey, if you're watching still. I'm trying to come up with a better idea for my floor in here to paint instead of these drop cloths, because you see how I bunched it up all over there, because it's a pain in the butt. It gets in my way and I don't like it. Isn't this a pretty color? Canvas landscapes. That sounds like fun. I've done the painting with a twist. That was fun. That was at Christmas time. We did like an elf on the shelf sitting in a wine glass. And I've taught a few classes, which is one of my favorite things to do. I've decided that I'm just a born teacher. That's what I like to do. So I know sometimes when I do this kind of a live, a lot of people don't really care for it because they don't feel like they're learning much. But a faux finish, ooh, that'd be fun. I love faux finishes. But, you know, you can see the different, even though we're not doing technique and stuff, you can see the different colors. And I think that it's good to give you guys ideas for how to update your stuff at home. You know, this is a canvas that's been sitting in my garage. Someone gave it to me and I was like, what am I supposed to do with this? So this is what I'm doing with it. Now, whether it's going to turn out good or not, that is up for debate. But I thought it would be fun. It's Friday night. We should be having fun, right? You know, it's just, I'm ready to have some fun. I did go to the beach this week. That was fun. Does anybody live near the beach? I grew up in St. Augustine, Florida, and I always lived within 10 minutes, 15 minutes of the beach. And I love the beach. I could sit on the beach all day and read or watch the little ones. I prefer to read or just get in the water and hang out. That is my fun place besides painting. This is almost as relaxing as the beach. Today wasn't relaxing because I couldn't think of what I wanted to do. And I was finishing up those end tables, and yesterday I was about ready to come out the window. Has anyone on here ever felt like throwing it out the window when you are trying to When am I doing another class? Brittany, I am hoping to do one soon. We don't know yet with all the COVID stuff. So as soon as we can do it, we're going to try and do it. And I'm just trying to kind of poll people to see what kind of classes they would like to take. I will be doing some cabinet painting classes, how to paint cabinets, because I think it intimidates a lot of people and it's not hard. It's just time consuming. So I think that that would be a really good class and probably a beginning furniture painting class. And then we can also do some making tapes. It's just going to depend on what people want to do, you know, what interests get for the different things. So anyone local watching, if you are local and want to take a class, you let me know what kind of class you want. Carolyn Muncie. Is Carolyn doing online classes? Like live online classes, or how's she doing that? I thought about doing live online classes, but I couldn't quite figure out how I was going to do that. You know? So, anyway, whatever you're interested in. And I guess, you know, we can try and figure out a way if, you know, a lot of my regular followers just, I've even gotten some people calling me to tell me, you know, how much they enjoy the lives and stuff. So maybe we can do an online class, do like an online tutorial, or maybe, I don't know, for people who want to paint their kitchens, maybe we could do like an online, like a series of classes on how to paint your kitchen. Because I painted my kitchen years ago, but I'm ready to do it again. I'm ready to change color. Oh, good, Sherry. You can take her fun. Yes, Brittany, I know your mom probably would prefer that. Online starting May 15th. I didn't know where she had that on there. She's very talented. Carolyn Muncie is one of the online, I think she's a retailer for Dixie Belle. She's very talented. She does a lot of florals and nature pictures, and she's very talented. We're almost done with this. It's taking a long time. This frame is bigger than I thought. Hey, Amy. I'm watching you tonight because I want to know what this tool is that you're talking about. What is a Water Whiz tool? Amy is on right now. Amy is with AJ's Vintage Design. She is a brand ambassador for Dixie Belle. She is brilliant. One of the best teachers out there online. She's a natural teacher. Inspires me every day. Amy, I'm just doing a hot mess here. I'm just playing with this canvas. That's a cool tool. I have never heard about it. I have never heard of the Water Whiz tool. Okay, so that's our gravel road. So now we're going to add, hi Sandy. I'm going to do something different. This is going to be mixed media. So I'm going to use this. It's a large floor staining pad. I'm going to watch that. I'm going to watch that and figure out what you're doing with that. So I'm going to add this cardboard on here for just added interest. It may turn out looking terrible. It's falling apart, so I've got to glue it. But I'm going to do it because I think it'd be fun. Glue this down. I didn't have a knife to cut this out, so I tore it, and it tore. So I'm going to glue it right to the canvas. Okay, Amy, I think I remember something about that. Maybe a time I just didn't get, I don't know. I'm going to have to look that tool up. You said that's at Home Depot? My daughter works at Lowe's. Do they have them at Lowe's? Because then I can get it. Ouch. Hot glue is hot. All right, I'm just going to put this right on here, and we're going to hope for the best. I think I'm going to do it this way. I have no idea if I should even be doing this, but I'm going to do it. Hi, Edie. Chic and Shab. I've never heard of that one. Is that like a, is that kind of like a paint, what is it called? Painting with a twist place where you go in and they have everything there for you? Okay, so that's on there. So now I'm going to paint it Bunker Hill Blue. This is the closest blue I could come up with for the flag. It's a really pretty blue. I'm just going to use a chip brush because I need to get all in these cracks. And I probably should have painted it before I put it on here. But like I said, my brain's not working today. It's been a crazy week. Some of y'all, I just opened a booth. The booth that I have my paint in originally is just paint. I don't have room for all the little knick-knacky things. And so it's very easy because I just order paint, fill it up, keep it stocked, and take care of all the customers, you know, that need paint. But I had an opportunity to open up a second location for paint. And it's a booth that has enough room for all the little smalls and stuff. And it's outside of my comfort zone. That's the theme for today, outside my comfort zone. And so I've been working really hard trying to put in it. And my paint's not here yet. So when my paint gets here, okay, so when my paint gets here, I'll put it in there and then it's going to be wonderful because it'll be another location for my paint and it'll be a different, it's not too far from my first location, but it's a different set of people, a different area. The area is just different. So you guys should have said, you know, Michaela, if you had painted that before you glued it down, it would have been so much easier. But that's all right. It makes it more interesting. So I'm going to do these stars. Of course, I don't have 50 of them. I just have this. I have the stencil right here. And I'm going to use Dixie Belle Mud and fill them in and make them like a raised one. I don't know if it's going to work with the ridges on this, but I'm thinking it might. If it doesn't, then I'll do something else. But I thought it would be cool. And then I'm going to use the Sea Spray with the red and the Dixie Belle White Mud to make the white stripes. Thank you, Edie. I used to have a whole bunch of these things in the garage, these canvases. And I go through these moods where I'm like, what the heck am I doing with that? I'm just going to throw it out. Throw them out. My husband doesn't, he likes things to be thrown out. But I'm glad I kept this one because I'm hoping that this looks neat. So if y'all are watching and you're not already following me and you want to get notifications when I go live, just go to the notifications, the 3 little buttons, and if you follow me, then you'll get notifications. Now, I know Yvonne had trouble not getting notifications, but I think that's a Facebook issue. Facebook has been really weird lately. You know, they go by their own rules, so. Okay, so there's our Bunker Hill Blue. I think that looks good. It covered it really well. Got a few little pieces that are, but it's going to have stars on it, so we're not going to be able to see it very much. Okay. So now, I'm just kind of doing this in steps. I didn't really think all this through before I came on here. Yeah, Evie, I do like living in Florida. I don't like the summers. Let me But I love Florida. And this winter has been so mild. It's been not even really like a winter. I'm just going to dry this really quick before I hit it with some sandpaper. Now I've got a sanding here. It's used, so I'm hoping that it'll pull back some of the paint. Let's see. Some of it's still a little bit wet. Okay, can y'all see that? Let me see if I can get closer. The lighting is not. Okay, because if you see the pine cone coming through there, isn't that pretty? So I'm gonna wait till it gets a little more dry. Bunker Hill Blue is, I did a side table once with Bunker Hill Blue with gold gilding wax. Holy moly, it was so pretty. Okay. Just gonna hold it on my lap. Okay, so we got that. I'm gonna let that get a little bit more dry. So now I'm going to mix up some, I've decided to use Barn Red. And I'm gonna mix it up with some sea spray and make it a little bit thick. This should be really interesting how this turns out. Okay. So I've got my sea spray. This is an additive that gives your paint some texture. I love using it. It's so much fun. So Edie, if you want to show someone a picture, you could send it to them in a private message and just tell them that you sent it, because if you're not friends on Facebook and send a private message, a lot of times they won't see it. So I'm going to stir this with this brush I have here. So I just added like maybe, I don't know, a third of a scoop, maybe not quite a third, just enough to get the paint a little thicker. See how it's just not, it's not dripping, it's just kind of scooping. I don't want it real chunky, but I think this is good. We'll see. And this is going to be the width of my stripe, so I'm going to go across like this, and I'm just going to play with it. Let's just see how it goes. Can y'all see that? And I'm going to go over just a net one more time, a little bit thicker. I'm going to do it without, I'm just laying it on top so there's some texture to it. And then I'm going to do another stripe. I'm going to kind of hold this a width away. I don't want this perfect. I want it to be kind of a rustic flag, which is probably a good thing because that's what it's going to be. See, okay, I kind of like how that fluff is showing through a little bit, so I'm going to pull. That's probably not going to work. That one's going to be just a a full one. How's that so far? Do another one. So I'm just going to have it hold this and just kind of on. So when I work, a lot of times I can't talk at the same time. Now see, I have this half stripe here. So I actually have another putty knife right here. Let's see, is that gonna, it's just about the perfect size. I'm just gonna use this one. I'm gonna have to wipe it off, so I was gonna use this for my stars. So what I'm gonna do, let's see, we'll do it this way. This is going to be interesting to see how this turns out. I've always liked watching other people use mixed media, and I've never tried it. So this, y'all get to watch it first, and that's not straight. And it's okay if I go outside the lines because Dixie Belle Mud will cover it up. I made too much. I'm wondering, see, it's a little bit too wide to take it this way. I had another putty knife. Hang on. If you can't have one tool that works, just get all of them out. Okay, that's not looking too bad. Don't want that line there like that, though. It's like I'm not sure how to do it, but I know what I don't like when it is. So I'm just gonna, okay. I'm gonna leave that alone. Okay. That was stressful. That's my bucket of water over there. Okay. Now let's do another one. Just get a stir. I'm just going to kind of guide it like this and start it here. I'm digging that. What do y'all think? find something else that I need red putty with because I use too much of it. I want it textured, so I'm going to go back in here and I'm going to add some texture to this. Can y'all see what I'm doing here? I'm just I'm not really touching the canvas too much. I'm just pulling some of the product on here to kind of cover it up. Make sure, I want it to have, you know, I don't want the white to show through too much on this part. So I'm just giving it a little bit more thickness, and I'm drying it just a little bit so that it has like some texture, so that when that dries, it'll have some weight to it. Thanks, Brittany. Thank you, Jackie. And you can do this on anything. I mean, I was actually going to get a cabinet door. I have a bunch of doors that don't belong to anything because my display at my first shop, it's a very large display, and I took the doors off so that I could have more room for paint. Uh-oh. That's I've turned off the notifications, but I think it allows your family. I have it set so that my kids can still call me if my phone is off. So hopefully my husband maybe he'll call. He's probably calling to tell me about his week. He's a miller. He's 23. He works for Northrop Grumman. They are a defense contractor for the United States military. He's a computer scientist for them. Mom, okay, son. Mommy. Hang on. Let me tell him. I'll call here. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Okay. All right. Okay. Oops. So I like that you can use either the sea spray or the mud to make texture. Most of the time when I use sea spray, I get it pretty chunky. I'm looking for that chunky, so I can sand back and show colors underneath it. But I purposely used a little bit more paint in this one so that it would be full body paint, but not, gritty. And as it dries, I'm just pulling some more through there so that it's giving me some more texture. Now, if my son was following my page, he would know that I'm on live. Stinker. Okay. I think that's I'm just trying to cover up some of the areas that like I love this white showing through full like that, but I don't really want it showing underneath the red. So I'm just giving it a little bit more on top. And I don't ever know when to stop. It's like, okay, stop. No. Sometimes if I don't stop, I get a happy accident. And sometimes when I don't stop, I end up really upset. Small world. Yeah, that's my son's ringtone because he said exactly like, I don't even know who that is, that ringtone. I think it's from Families something. Okay. So that, now I could leave this like this. I mean, the white is white, but I don't want to. I want to use, okay. Hang on. This is what I'm looking for right here. I want to use the mud because the mud's white, and so I want it to be full too. Just going to wipe this off here and put the lid on here. This is going to be an experiment to see if this gets really hard in here with the lid on. There's still a little bit in there. I don't like to waste, but if it gets hard, it gets hard. Family Guy, that's right. It's a ringtone from Family Guy. But I love it because every time he calls me, it makes me smile. Not just because he's calling me, but because the ringtone. But I talk to him all the time. We talk a few, at least 2 times a week, sometimes more, depending on, you know how kids are. They call you if things are going great, and they call you when things are not going great. So if I don't hear from him at all, things are okay, normal. All right, got my Dixie Belle Mud. Now, when you open Dixie Belle Mud, you want to refrigerate it after you open it so that it doesn't, get hard or mildewed or whatever. It says it right on the jar. I wonder if this is a mistake to do this while this is. Did y'all see this? There's a big glob of red right there. I wonder if I should wait till that red is dry. What do y'all think? I'll do a little bit so that you can see it, but I'm thinking that the smart thing to do is to wait. Because I'm going to be getting red in this, although I can paint it with fluff. But I'm going to do one stripe just to show you what I want it to look like. We'll do one stripe. And then I'll do the stars, and then I'll wait for the rest of it to dry and finish it. I think this is going to look really cool. Okay, so let me show you this. Okay, so can you see the texture and the white? And of course you can see the texture and the red. So I'm going to wait for the red to completely dry before I continue, because if I don't, I know I'm going to have a hot mess. But I just wanted you to see how I wanted that to look. And so I'm going to go ahead and do these stars on here. Do it this way. And I'm going to just hold it down for a star. This might be a mistake, but I'm doing it anyway. And I hope I have enough mud. If I don't have enough, I've got some at the shop. I'll just show y'all what I want it to look like for these. Because it's going to take a little bit more mud to fill in. These may or may not look like stars when I'm done. But hopefully I'll have enough mud so we can all see it together. I already put some tape on the edge so that it wouldn't get on those stars. All right, I'm not going to have enough mud, but I do have some joint compound, so I'm going to use that. It's also white. Hopefully it's some color. So I have this. I use this occasionally when I have holes in my walls and stuff, and sometimes if I'm in a pinch, I'll use this. So I'm going to use this joint compound. It's a little less thick, I think, than the mud, but they're the same color, so. Okay. Now I'm just kind of making sure they're all covered before I lift this up. Yeah, this is a little bit more runny in the mud. I think it's going to work okay. All right. This could be a disaster, but we're going to keep it real, and I'm going to pull it up right here on camera and hope for the best. I got a little place right here that doesn't have any in it. I'm going to take a peek first. It looks terrible. Okay, they're not too bad. They're a little messy, but you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to set this over here, and because the middle of them got filled in, I'm going to just go ahead and completely fill them in. I'm going to get a little chip brush here, and I'm just going to fill in the middle because we still have a star shape. So that was probably not a good idea, but you can't know until you try. See, this is what it should have looked like with all these little holes in it, but I'm just going to fill it in and go with it. And when this dries, this paper needs to be glued down a little bit more right there, but I'm just going to fill that in. And then maybe after it dries, I go around it with a, well, I don't know, I kind of like that they're messy. It kind of goes with the whole textured thing. It's probably not everybody's ball of wax, but I think it looks kind of cute. You know, you don't know what it's going to look like unless you try. Let me see. Got some there. Hey, Kelly. Hello. I'm making a mess. That's my sister-in-law. I am making a mess. We're doing a little bit different live tonight. We're doing something fun. Okay, so this is how it's turned out. Now, of course, I gotta wait for everything to dry. I'm gonna have to touch this up. Afterwards, I'm gonna give this a really good sanding so that the pine cone color comes through more. You can see it on here. I know it's hard to tell on camera, but I'll post pictures of that when I'm done so that you can see. I'll post close-ups. Let me just pull this back here. This is already getting dry. But the Dixie Mud sands really nicely. And so you see that I'm making a mess. I am making a mess. It is messy, 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 messy. We did impromptu live here. Hey, Wilma. Okay, so this is how it ends up. Okay. The stars could use some help. So we've got our cardboard for texture. We have our sea spray and our red for texture. And then we used our Dixie Belle Mud for texture. You're welcome, Yvonne. I'll see ya. Let me know if you don't get your paint. So we have a full textured piece here. And it just needs, of course, this little piece of red here is going to get covered up because the bottom here is Dixie Mud. Okay, so these white ones have not been done. These are not done yet. I have to wait for red to dry before I can go back with the white. But the white is going to have texture also. So the whole thing will have texture, and then I'll clean up these edges. All the edges will get cleaned up. Let me see. I'm going to put a little bit of hot glue in here. This is wanting to come up. Like that. Just a little bit. And then a little bit here. Now that's wet, it's wanting to pull up. There we go. So, there we go. What y'all think? You like it? So it's a little rustic with the red. Everything's pretty rustic on it. But anyway, that's just an idea of what you can do with an old canvas that's sitting around. And you know, you can, I like to do this kind of thing because then you can play with the different products and you don't have to do it on a expensive furniture. Okay, this gives you a chance to feel how the sea spray feels and how the mud feels. How you can do raised stenciling with the mud. The video that I did not too long ago that also has a raised stencil on it on a dresser. But there's different ways you can use it. All right, Jackie. Yay. Okay, so that's it for tonight. I will be live this weekend, probably tomorrow. My husband's working tomorrow, so I'll probably be on tomorrow. I'll try and think of something to do. If there's something that y'all would like to see, just let me know, and maybe I can throw something together for you. If not, I will try and find something around here that needs to be done. There's lots to be done. It's just some of it you guys have seen already. So like I've got my display cabinet that I'm doing for the new shop. It needs slick stick. The whole thing needs slick stick. We can have a slick stick party. Does everybody want to come over and paint slick stick? But it definitely needs slick stick. It's a laminate cup. It's like a hardwood with a laminate type cutting on it, so it needs slick stick. And then I'm thinking about spraying it with kudzu, which is a beautiful thing. And then maybe a little bit of faux finish or something on it. I don't know. Okay, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great day.